Hey, hi all. So today we will be learning about what are the advantages of API testing and API testing types. So first we will go through the software development cycle. Okay, so how if any of the application is creating, then what are the stages of development? Okay, so as you can see in the image, if any of the application is getting created, so first what will happen, the developers develop the database layer. Okay, so they will develop the multiple tables, how data we are going to store. Okay, so all the things will happen at this stage. Later they create the server level logic, so in which they apply all the logic how the data is transferred from the server to database. Okay, in the next level they writes the API. Okay, so whatever API, so whatever data coming from the web application to the server, all the functionality related to get the data, we need to add the data into the database, whatever APIs we are returning in the API level. Okay, in the last level, which is user interface level, which means we can able to see the UI, whatever user interface is there. Suppose there is a Facebook page, if we are seeing the Facebook page, that's a user interface. Okay, so if you see, the user interface is visible at the last level. Okay, but the API are present before user interface gets created. Okay, so due to which what happens, the functional testing of the application can be done using help of the API. Okay, so due to which what happens, whatever bugs present in the application gets caught in the early stage. Okay, so due to which the development cycle gets reduced and our cost gets saved. Okay, so we will see what are the types of testing in the API testing. Okay, there are multiple testing types in the API testing. So first is functional testing of the APIs. Okay, so suppose if any user is signing up to the Facebook page, so if the user is signing up, so that's the functional testing, right? If the user enters the valid data, whatever data needed through the API, application should add the entry into the database. So that's one of the test cases. So that's a type of functional testing. So if you are verifying the function of the application, that's the functional testing. The second is performance testing. So if in any of the data we are sending to the server, how much time it takes to revert it back to the API. So we will verify the performance of the APIs. Okay, so in which we are check the API's responsiveness, due to which we can able to understand where we need to improve the API's performance. Okay, the next thing is security testing. So here we will check, are there any mitigate potential security vulnerability in the API, so that we can secure the sensitive data of the web application. Okay, the next one is load testing of the API. Okay, so if we are applying load of concurrent request to the API, how API behaves in that environment. So this will also help us to understand how the API works in the environment of heavy loads. Okay, so these are the types of testing in the API. So in our video tutorial we will be working on the functional testing of the API. Okay, so if any of the function is there, is it working or not, that type of testing we will perform. Okay, so next thing is, what are the advantages of API testing? Okay, so as I already told you, so early detection of the bug, as we get the access of API before UI comes into the picture, we can able to catch the bugs and report that bug at the development stage, due to which development process cycle gets reduced. Okay, second thing is cost efficiency. So finding bugs and fixing bugs in early is more cost effective than addressing at the later stage. Okay, if we have performed the performance testing on the API, so we can improve the API performance for that particular software. Okay, next thing is enhanced security. So as you see in the last slide, if the security testing of the API is done, we can ensure the data security of the sensitive data. Okay, and last thing is faster development cycle. As we test all the things in the early stages, the development cycle gets fast.